Welcome to Busted Speakers. I'm Cam,
And I'm Alex.
and today we're reviewing We Still Go to Rodeos, the third LP by Texas-based Canadian country singer Whitney Rose.
Is country much of a thing in Canada? Because I think this is one of the first Canadian country artists I've listened to, other than, obviously Neil Young.
Yeah, I don't really think American-style country music makes its way up to Canada or back down, very often. And then, even Neil Young, is country question mark? He's definitely closer than, almost any other Canadian artist I've ever heard.
That's true. There's, a couple of country-esque songs from Neil Young, but is he a full-on country artist? No.
Again, I don't know Whitney Rose's full life story. I don't know when she came from Canada down to Texas. Not that we think country music can't be made by people who aren't from the, American South.
Not at all.
Yeah, she's turned in 3 great albums now with this one. Yeah, we just need to correct ourselves here real quick. This is her 4th LP. Anyway, back to the album.
Yeah, this is a solidly thorough country album. I mean, I can't complain. As soon as you sent me the link to Can't Stop Shaking, I knew this was an artist I'd be happy to check out more. Seemed really fun and energetic on that song. This is a solid country album, with some songs veering more into country rock, but then again, is a song deemed country rock just because it has an electric guitar on it, or what? So I don't know. Through and through, I'd say this is a really good country album with no bad songs, nothing to really complain about, just really solid. I don't know how many times we can say that. If you're looking for a really good country album, this'll do the job for you.
One thing that I noticed listening to her first 3 albums is that she is very much indebted to older styles of country. Most places call her style throwback to the countrypolitan era or the Nashville sound of the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
And I don't know exactly how familiar you are with the history of American country music.
I know the basics. I like Hank Williams. I like Marty Robbins. Obviously Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, Chris Christopherson. I know at least the basics of all the legends back in the day.
Sure.
This definitely, on a couple of songs, did sound like it was harkening back to more 50s than 60s to me, especially with the guitar playing on a certain song or two. But yeah, it's definitely indebted or influenced by people of old.
Yeah, and this is honestly the most modern sounding of her albums so far.
Really?
Because all 3 of the previous are very much more so in the countrypolitan vein, which is, as I understand it, just country music that's very heavily orchestrated. I almost kind of want to call it kind of country crooners, but that's not accurate. Just because there are country
So
crooners.
you mean
but
songs that have violins and stuff that sort of give it a overarching, not classical, but sort of, kind of has string section parts to them. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, country music by way of Sinatra type orchestrations. Not quite that full band.
No. Is this sort of the song Wichita Lineman that kind of has in the background sort of a string section part that kind of makes the song even more magical, that type of thing?
Yeah, that's what she's indebted to, and she doesn't entirely ape that sound, but she does. Her previous albums had more strings and more piano and stuff like that, and I don't think I heard any instruments besides basic drums, guitar, and bass in this one, except a banjo on a couple of songs.
Yeah, true. I think there was on my favourite song, the title track had some harmonica on it, I think.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Which made that song feel more old school and traditional. That's my favourite song because it felt like a really good end to the album. I really like the harmonica. I like the themes of, it's been done to death, but, the song's lyric about she doesn't need anything fancy, she's got everything she needs in love. The guitar playing on that song, especially the guitar solo, had a distinct air of 50s country to it. I really like the title track. That's probably my favourite on the album.
Yeah, the title track is a good one. It really could have been an opener for the album, too.
Yeah, it could have been, especially opening up with the harmonica.
Yeah, it does bring the album down and together in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard for me to really pick a favorite that wouldn't be too obvious, because I like a lot of the songs that focus on less than stellar relationships, which is a fair few of these songs.
Yeah, she covers a lot of topics here of different points of relationships when they're breaking down, like she doesn't understand why this relationship that was working is now over or about to end, or the magic's gone, or it's already over. Like, she explores a lot of themes here. It's like she's not afraid to say what she means in these songs as well. She seems like a very honest, personal songwriter. Obviously, I don't know much about her, but lots of different emotions and feelings are evoked in these songs, I feel like.
Again, I've only listened to each of her previous albums maybe once each, but to me, this one felt like the most songwriterly album that she's had so far. As in, like, most like songs with characters to them, like not just about topics, like also
Yeah.
characters and possibly drawing on personal experience. I'm sure there are some others that have in the past, but the opener, Just Circumstance, which is another great song.
Yeah.
Apparently, she wrote that based on like true crime shows that she had been watching.
Interesting. I did not know that.
I was kind of wondering about that the first time I listened to it because I couldn't quite tell if the, she in every verse was supposed to be the same girl or woman, or if it was like multiple vignettes about different people.
Well, that kind of makes it seem like it was about different people. If it's a true crime show, different
Yeah.
story each episode, I guess.
That's the kind of story song that I like, just feels like it could be about real people and the situations that the trouble that people get into in small towns and that kind of thing.
One of the more interesting songs on here for me was Believe Me, Angela.
Absolutely. That seems to be the fan favorite from what I can tell.
Yeah, it's a very interesting lyric. She talks as a scorned woman who's been done dirty by this guy, and it's a very interesting progressive lyric that she identifies with the woman rather than hate or blame her, because, she says, I think in the third verse, like, she talked to her friends, I know you're not who I should blame, she says that in the lyrics, and it's like a cautionary tale warning Angela against this guy. Like you say, I don't know if this is specifically a real person or drawing on her own experiences, but it's a very interesting lyric, and the guitar playing on this song is excellent. I have to give credit to the slide guitar on this album as a whole. It's excellent, and it's on at least half the songs here, if not most of them. It actually reminds me of George Harrison's solo career. He started to play slide guitar towards the end of the Beatles a bit, but in his solo career, especially in the 70s, he started to play it on most of his songs, and this kind of reminded me of that. Not that George Harrison was ever country or anything, but he had a organic folk singer-songwriter sound on some songs. I don't know if that was an influence, maybe not, but it reminded me of that.
Yeah, Believe Me, Angela was a great one. I got a genuine laugh out of the line when she's like, I talked to my friends and we went and keyed his car instead. I'm like, you go, that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's the type of different, personable lyric on this album that really made it stand out to me.
One more thing that's definitely worth mentioning. Did you happen to look up who the producer was on this album?
I did, and I know he produced, or at least co-produced, Pablo Honey.
Yep.
But maybe more interestingly, he produced Live Through This by Hole, the 90s grunge classic, which is very interesting to me. He's been in the game a while, and he's been employed to produce this, and the production on this album is really good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great. And so that's Paul Coldery.
Okay, yeah. He did a really good job here.
Probably a safe estimate to guess that he's where a lot of the more country rock sound on this one comes through.
Yeah, especially in the guitar sound, like songs like In a Rut and I'd Rather Be Alone. Some great guitar, electric guitar soloing on those songs.
And he also worked with Uncle Tupelo, who was the precursor to Wilco and Sunvolt.
It's the Jeff Tweedy band I'm more familiar with. I like them a lot.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, I can't find much else for playing credits on this album. Whoever is playing on this album, everybody brings their A game, not least of all Whitney herself. She has a great voice. And I think on this album, I could be wrong, but it sounds like she's using less of like a deliberate accent on her voice. It feels a little more natural than her previous stuff. Not to say that, her previous albums were cartoonishly exaggerated, like frickin' Florida Georgia Line or something.
No.
Yeah, but this one it feels a little more loose and laid back and natural, and I really appreciate.
You get some songs like Blame Me for the Rain, where she just sounds cool and chilled the whole time. Even though it's not my favourite, the song I keep returning to is 100 Shades of Blue. Did you like that song?
Yeah, that one was pretty good.
I just thought it was a really lovely ballad. I did write here it's one of the best country ballads I've ever heard. Maybe that's not entirely true or fair, but I don't know. I really liked it. Excellent finger pick guitar. Her voice is lovely and tender. Just a sweet sounding song, even though it's quite a sad lyric. You know, she's using 100 Shades of Blue as an evocative colour analogy to how she's feeling. She's feeling blue. She wish she could add a rainbow of other colours to cheer her up, but you know, sort of lyrics like that I generally really like, and I just like sad lyrical songs like that actually sound quite nice and pleasant. One of the highlights on the album for me, for sure.
All right, Alex. So what are you gonna rate this one?
I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. Yes, the point fives are back again. Yeah, like I said earlier, you just can't ask for much more with a country album. She has a really fast-paced, energetic songs like In a Rut, really slow ballady tracks like 100 Shades of Blue and others. So, you know, it's got different moods and feelings of country. She's a great voice. The band plays really good. Production's really good. Really enjoyable album. I suggest buying it off of Bandcamp to support her, as you said it was self-released, Cam.
Yep, she created her own record label to put this one out just to see if she could do it.
Well, I did my bit. I like this album a lot. Yeah, 7.5 out of 10. Nice one, Whitney.
Yep, and I'm gonna give this a nice round 8.
Nice.
I feel like I harp on this a little too much, but I just love knowing that there's still, people who can write and craft tuneful songs that don't care about getting radio play or anything like that. They don't care about bowing to current trends. Like I can't imagine any of these getting, played on the radio next to whatever's been passing for country for the last, 10, 15 years. Her voice is lovely, the production is pristine, the songs are all really well written, and yeah, I just can't say enough nice things about this album.
Yeah, it's really good, guys. Just go and listen to it.
What are you doing still listening to us? Go listen to it.
Listen.
Go buy
to
it. And with that shilling, thanks for tuning in to Busted Speakers, everybody. You can follow us on Twitter at _Busted Speakers. You can follow me on Twitter at SubProspector. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more of our album reviews. And we will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.